Technical Tuesdays. That's right,
again,
Technical Tuesdays.
Major barrier of resistance is 1.15. As long as we stay below that level and break this 1.12 level.
Technical Tuesday fucking 53. Boy, have we come a fucking long way. And before we even start, let's actually play one of the first Technical Tuesdays right now.
The new and improved volumes of Technical Tuesdays.
That's right, Technical Tuesdays are back, and this time we've revamped everything. Right, that looks terrible, and in celebration to how far we've come, it's time we actually have a little drink, isn't it?
Let's do this. It's been a while. Hope everyone's doing well, guys. What, many months ago now, our last Technical Tuesday. I'm always kind of on and off these days.
9 months ago.
Yeah, was it 9 months?
9 months ago.
Oh shit, 9 months ago, okay, sorry. So how did we actually get here in London, in Mayfair? I mean, in the last 10 Technical Tuesday videos alone, you've seen probably like 2 or 3 office transitions, and you've seen Penthouse, 1 or 2 volumes we did there as well. And now we are here in our trading room in the Mayfair office. So
yeah, it's crazy. We actually, I think we were driving somewhere in London, like, cheers everyone. We were driving somewhere in London, maybe like about a month ago, and this car pulled up alongside us as we're racing, and he was like, stop racing, can you go back and make Technical Tuesdays? So all the comments on most of our videos, pictures, were Technical Tuesdays. And you know what, we're thinking, what kind of topic can we normally talk about for anybody that hasn't seen Technical Tuesdays? We take a topic, anything to do with the markets, we try and talk as much as we can of our opinions.
Yeah,
and
our experiences, we throw our experiences in there. Catching up with Astrofx and other projects that we are handling right now, such as Everything FX, Cryptonary 2, things that we're looking to do in the future. Maybe even show some of the new staff members and the new team members, which we are training at the moment as well. So there's many exciting things going on.
I hope you enjoy the vlogs as well. So again, over the next year or so, you can see Technical Tuesdays giving you guys the gold analysis that you guys obviously look forward to. Gold advice that we try and give as much as we can, but yeah, the vlogs will still be there in the background as well. And then I was saying to Sean, I was like, what should the topic be this week? And I actually thought, you know what, give you guys a spotlight, the chance for your guys' voice to ask us questions. So now I actually put this on Instagram, on the Astro Instagram, and my personal as well, I think, and a few other things. And I got a crap load of questions. Now, many of the questions, of course, are very technical, as in entries and teaching you how to trade and just a whole bunch of questions. And I decided to take the 9 or 10 most popular, because again, remember, we're saving technicals for the end. So I don't think Sean actually knows what questions are actually going to come, but I think we should do this. And then we're going to hop to the technicals, of course. So yeah, let's get started with the first question. So, all right, this first one is by 1XO, so obviously a weekend fan. In terms of trading style, analysis, lifestyle, what are the biggest changes since the last Technical Tuesday episode?
Okay.
I'll let Sean answer that one.
All right, so number 1, I would say since the last 9 months of the last Technical Tuesdays, we've done a lot. Last year, 2018, was more or less our transition into London. This time 1 year ago, we were only thinking about working from the penthouse that we got, find our feet in London and go from there. But to be honest, we did work, but we kind of drifted away and had a lot of fun that year. Me and Nat were both actually out of the country for, I would say, 4 months straight of 2018. We were traveling around the world.
Sean showed his passport.
Yeah, this year. We did that much traveling last year. My passport is actually broken. And I actually got stopped at immigration many times when we went to Vietnam just before Christmas. So for me, it's a sign to stop traveling for at least 4 or 5 months in order to actually get this show on the road here and put some good grind and good effort into the office.
Yeah, and one thing we should also mention is that obviously with all the travelling and stuff like that, loads of different things that happen throughout the year. We actually offered our own TV show, which has been one of the major TV channels, and we actually turned it down. We want to try and take control and give you guys what we think is good content, not what they thought. Yeah. At the same time, the thought of offices come around, so we looked at a few offices in the Shard, which I'm sure you guys have heard of, but then I actually thought, okay, Mayfair. And of course, if you guys seen, we're out here, and that hopefully stops some of the traveling that we all do every single month, and give you guys more content. So hopefully that works out for the best. So
yeah, I would say on top of that as well, trading has improved dramatically. throughout all of the traveling, throughout all of last year, the consistent work ethic on the trading side of things was very, very intense. And even in the last year or so, we've come so far now with our own personal trading. And again, that also inspired this room right here, which you'll see at the end, and all of the monitors and the screen setups, and go into bigger leagues, bigger avenues going forward. So we still have come a very, very long way in the last 12 months since the last Technical Tuesdays. But yeah, we've just been enjoying ourselves a lot, and we try to balance the work and the lifestyle, and also try to give back to people as much as possible on social media, whether it be sharing trades, analysis on everything FX, whether it be Instagram Live, communicating with some of our followers and so forth. And again, we're just continuing to go from strength to strength. Astro is from mid-March, it's going to be 5 years of Astrofx. Yes. 5 years of Astrofx.
Sounds for you guys are following as well then.
Big accomplishment.
Cool, all right, let's move on to number 2. How do you keep on top of strict discipline? So I actually get asked this quite a lot. Of course, it's a bit of a psychology question. I always say that people should actually base it around their own character. A lot of people will try and read up online and say, okay, cool, if this person does this based around their lifestyle and their day, I should try and implement the same. But I think me and Sean are both examples of we're two different people, and we always explain this in some of the course and education that we do. Sean obviously is a lot more risky than I can be, and I'm a lot more safer. Now, luckily, me and Sean actually meet in the middle, but because of our characteristics, we actually tend to trade like that. So Sean is a lot more active in the markets than I am, and I am much more, trade smart often, and I will try and place as least trades as possible because that's my character style. So I think when it comes to discipline, please look at your own life and try and see, okay, cool, do I get angry easily? Am I impatient?
Yeah.
Do I love risk?
Yeah. I would also just throw in there too, again, going back to, we get so much experience from people, people's comments, people's observations, people's feedback, especially on social media. So for instance, when it comes down to discipline and somebody else's routine, you might get some people trying to more or less carbon copy what works for somebody they look up to or somebody they follow, etc., etc. But it isn't always going to work out like that. You have to actually find your own routine, your own rhythm, depending on what you do for a living, what your actual goals are with trading. Do you want to go full-time? Do you want to do part-time? Do you want to take over the world? There's so many different variables that you have to put together in order to find yourself. And when it comes down to discipline, for me, I would say Nat's more of the level-headed and grounded one out of the both of us. But for me, I find my best trading weeks or best trading months, or even best trading days come when I'm extremely focused and I've been looking after myself behind the scenes. And that can come down to like diet, lifestyle, exercise, stuff like that as well. So managing discipline, and we have our personal lives, family, commitments and so on. We've just found our way over time. I don't think nothing gets easier for you, you just learn how to manage it better. And then once you have a clear scope on everything around you you're managing outside of trading, then can you fully implement your trading routine and your mindset, to match on par with that.
So self-evaluation as well, I think.
Yeah.
All right, cool, next question. It's quite a golden question as well. When to withdraw profits?
When you make them. No, I'm joking. When withdrawing profits, I mean, many of us, again, coming down to what goals do we actually have? Do you want to compound your account? Which I never really suggest to a beginner trader to start, be in that fixed mindset of compounding your account from small to large. I think it comes with severe dedication, experience, wins, losses, and when you're first trading, you should more or less start to not withdraw all of your profits, let's say every 2 weeks or so. Even though your profits may be small at first, it's always good to withdraw a small portion, enjoy that, where even if it's £50, £100, and you've made £300 trading over 2 weeks. What makes me laugh is that people message me sometimes, and they may be working a standard 9 to 5 or on like a standard wage, which I was once on, let's say £60, £70 a day, and I'll put a trade out there or speak on live, and someone will message me going, oh bro, we killed this trade, and you may have made 100 pips on like a GA short, for instance. They'll message me like, oh, but I only made $40. But yeah, if you have to, again, don't compare yourself to what other people are making, stay in your lane. And the thing I find funny is that $40, $50 that they're making, people work 8 hours a day to actually make that in a job. So what I'm trying to get is, along the way, be grateful for your small profits, because over time it's going to build up, but you have to actually withdraw when you feel comfortable to actually see it in your bank account. Even if you go and spend it just on some groceries, you can actually say to yourself and motivate yourself that, okay, cool, I made that from the market, things are working. And again, once you start to see them withdrawals, you're not going to be rushing into the market out of desperation and greed. So you have to find the balance yourself, and again, stick to realistic targets, but also make sure they're challenging as well, so you grow on the mental level.
Yeah. I would definitely say, in my opinion, what happened, what worked for me was when you do make that first withdrawal, buy something that's actually can actually hold in your hand.
We still do that all the time.
Yeah,
I bought a MacBook the other week just for no reason.
Just because whenever you look at that, whatever you're using, like MacBook's a good example, or sometimes, you know what, it might be a pair of trainers, a jacket, something that you desire over, something that's actually going to stay in your bedroom for a long time. So when you do have that shit week and you're not feeling great, you can look at that item and hopefully it will cheer you up as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Next question. What do you think about iMarkets Live? IML.
IML.
So, well, frankly, they're a piece of fuck. Next question. So again, celebrating for Mayfair.
This is a funny question.
Oh wow!
I'll
Right?
let
Yeah.
answer this one.
I'm going to give you guys the real question. I'm actually going to show you that this is what this guy wrote. So the chap is no_sleep_warrior commented.
Creative.
How do you deal with the hoes in Forex, and how do you truly filter the woman in order to find the one? You have to marry the charts, my friend. Don't marry anybody else. And I promise the hoes will come and go. But
wait, so he said the hoes in Forex.
No, the hoes in Forex.
Forex trading hoes, or ladies that trade? Or does it mean the hoes that come about?
I don't know. I feel like a lot of people, and I've definitely seen on social media where I think you've got girls that are just posting selfies of themselves and then a chart saying financial freedom. If you're referring to those, hopefully with half a brain cell, you're going to stay away from them because they're most likely not real.
But there's also male hoes as well. We can't just put on the ladies out there.
True. Look at Sean being nice to everybody out here. But okay, so like what I would say is
he's suggesting a different thing.
I'll let Sean answer it. Okay, cool.
Okay, so how do you truly filter these women in order to find the one? Well, it depends. Me and Nat, to be honest, since day one of meeting each other, we've always had the same vision in business and trading, in going balls deep on any decision we make, and then allowing ourselves to actually work harder for it to work out. Again, another example right here, right now. But when it comes to ladies, I think that we both know our life changes every 6 months to a year. And I'm not personally searching for the one right now. I believe that I've got many years left of me to actually strive and do well and get myself onto a different playing field, a different level. Then I may attract the one down the line. But personally, I'm not looking for that right now. And in terms of hoes and stuff, I can't comment on that.
So yeah, I'm almost 30 and I'm not too sure about hoes these days. But yeah, if you have fun with them, have fun with them. Next question. What was the biggest challenge you've had in your journey and how do you overcome it? I'd say negativity. I reckon when we first started, this is going back to 2009, 2010, when we first got into the markets, no one knew about it. So obviously we both found it differently. I found it through a family friend. I think Sean was on Google. And back then, you're trying to explain to people, hey, I want to try and make money using my laptop. And I'm going to read the thing called candlesticks and let's do a currencies, and I've got a chance at this.
Yeah.
And I think that's when most people, parents especially, and I think that's going to relate to a lot of things that I post when I was growing up. My mom, my dad, family looked down on it. They took the piss out of it. They thought, you're not going to be able to do this. And of course, friends as well in life, if they can't figure it out or they don't believe in it, they're going to push that negativity on you.
I think going back to the time scope of where you're talking from, I think that one of the biggest challenges back then was probably, number one, the family thing. You know, when you have nothing and you're consistently losing and you're more or less a waster. You're a waster because you refuse to go out and get a job. You refuse to do other things, or you're so tunnel vision on the vision and the project, even though that you don't really know what you're doing, but you're still learning. But family members and friends around you, again, you have to make sacrifices, especially with friends and stuff, if they're not seeing eye to eye with your vision. But it was probably pushing through to actually show results, so then your family, mum, dad, you know, whatever it may be, can actually say, okay, cool, he's actually getting somewhere with this, and kind of be semi-supportive. And I think that can relate to many viewers out there, many of my Instagram followers and Nat's Instagram followers, is that they just have to keep pushing and not allow people's negativity and other people's views on how you should live your life, or where you should go and study or get education or work, to actually take you away from blasting through into your goal, because you will reach different echelons as you go along. And I think that was probably one of the first ones. The negativity online and stuff like that, you know, we've grown very, very thick-skinned because of those experiences, and now we just, you know, make fun of it. And
I was going to say, I've got a really good story which actually might motivate a lot of you. So back in the day, and this is something that I used to do personally, unless I've actually conquered something or I'm doing well at it, I would try not to window shop. So I won't try and say, hey, I'm doing this unless I'm doing good at it. So back in the day, I used to try and mask that I was doing Forex, and I used to call it a project. So a lot of my friends would ask me what I'm doing, I'll be like, I'm just working on a few projects. And then there's one guy in particular, I remember he went on Twitter, I thought he was my friend, he started taking the piss out of, okay, doing projects, always doing projects. Knew that was aimed at me, a lot of friends said, look, I think that's aimed at you. Within 2 years, he was at the bus stop, and I drove past him in the R8, and I drove really fast. So yeah, there's a good little story for you. Hey, when they hate on you, drive past them in your supercar really quickly. Next question. So this is from Sheikh_H1.
Yeah.
What's one tip for students who only have 1 hour a day for trading, studying and working full time?
I would start with that you do not have 1 hour a day. You can make more time if you really, really want it. My routine is I'll look at the markets. They're so heavily ingrained in my head that I only really need a few moments here and there to catch up on the chart. But you know, I choose to wake up. I have an alarm called Look at Trades on my phone at 2 a.m. and it'll go off at 2 a.m. in the morning, and I'll look for positions if I'm not in a position, and I will go and look after positions if I am in a position overnight to see if it's in profit, do I need to get out, break even, have been stopped out, and so forth. And I don't need to do that. I could just work a few days, but I choose to go that extra mile to enhance my trading results overall. So I don't believe that this guy has 1 hour a day for trading only, but to answer the question,
Maybe like higher time frames. I'd say that's one of the things that obviously depending on how much you're in and out the markets. If you look at the markets possibly every hour or so, you're probably not going to look at the weekly or daily
frames, currency pairs, sessions.
Try and become like a master of one thing, I'd say. Try not to obviously look and have that person that has all the currency pairs open.
And character comes in a lot as well. Like, you know, do you want to take multiple trades, do you want an intraday, lower time frame, or do you want to more or less swing?
So possibly higher time frames, but you know what? Bernie, BDFX, is actually going to make a video. So Bernie's one of our students from about 3 years ago. He actually works here with us now in this office, and the guy does property pretty much full time as well as trading. And I think he's actually going to make a video for you guys on our channel talking about how he does all of his property stuff while still trading. So I'll save that question for actually him.
Yeah, cool.
Next one. Almost at the end now. So how do you combine the trading lifestyle next to your girlfriend? So another girl question. This is popular amongst guys. I'm really trying to commit myself to the charts, but I don't get the maximum time on it because she also wants to do things together. Keep up with the projects. So yeah, with motivation, and I appreciate the comment at the end. But yeah, so the question basically is, he's trying to separate his time in front of the charts and also to a girlfriend. And I think that kind of goes back to maybe a little bit about before about, you know, what's your goal out of this? And if you completely, you know, we're not the type of people where we actually would ever probably choose a female or even friends over our work. That's how we got here and 5 years deep. But for a lot of people out there, I think the person they're chatting to or talking to, they're never going to understand charts. Doesn't matter how much you try and tell them, doesn't matter how much you say, hey, I need to wake up at 7 in the morning, I need to look at these charts. That person is just gonna, you know, probably most not understand. And then when you fail at trading, it's gonna be like, I told you so. So that's something I would say is you need to kind of choose the right person for you, similar to family and friends that might try and support you.
Or again, just throwing it out there from some of my personal experiences that you have a girlfriend, you might be on, again, one certain level, but once you start to expand mentally and financially, I mean, you might want to...
Sean's saying when the McLaren doors go up, new girlfriends come, is what you're saying.
But I mean, just think of a few months' time, 6 months' time, 12 months' time. If you're really studying and going hard this way, but your girlfriend or partner, this goes for girlfriend or boyfriend, to be honest, if you're going here, but your girlfriend or boyfriend is staying here and they're kind of comfortable, you don't want to be pulled down by them, and then it's just think of the bigger picture overall. Make the sacrifices. What was that quote off? What was it? Not Dragon's Den. What that guy said, where it's like he was faced with
Oh yeah. I can't
He
remember.
has to leave his business or marry his wife or something like that.
Yeah, and it was something like.
And the guy's like, one of them's replaceable.
Yeah, that
Either
was
his
true.
business is replaceable or his girlfriend's replaceable. So
Yeah, you got to think which one is. And also, I'd say, like I always said to Sean as well, I was like, you know what? Sometimes, like, relationships can be like the most kind of, I don't know, saddened time in your life, or can bring you down.
and they can also be quite supportive as well.
But when you get flights to anywhere in the world and go meet people whenever you want, trust me, you'll get over that person. That's what I would try and say anyway. Probably get in trouble for the answer. So next question. So last one. Astrofx. Talk about your vision and mission for Astrofx. So Astrofx, I think sometimes people forget the story about how we started. Me and Sean, again, used to post on Facebook before Instagram was even around, and just post free analysis. And we never actually had a goal of helping anybody or teaching anybody. It was just sharing analysis, trying to, I know, connect with people online. So every single time we've kind of taken on a new office or a new project or a new year, we have no idea what's going to happen. And if you look at where we are right now, you know, we've got 2 offices now. I think I actually counted the other day, and I put it on my Instagram, we have 21 people who now actually work under the umbrella of what we do. It's actually quite a big project now. We've traveled the world teaching, and guess what? The American office is coming. That's right. A lot of people have been asking, when is the American office coming, the American takeover, South Africa, Australia. That's why we have this office, guys. This office is going to be the benchmark that it takes Astro worldwide. And for all of you Astrofx students, you guys are to be a part of our journey. Hopefully, you guys will be the ones that will be working with us, actually.
Yeah. I think out of those 21 people, what would you say, like 90%?
Yeah, our students, yeah. John, Tori, Bernie, we've got Aaron, we've got about 4 or 5 people that we just literally had interviews and hired last week. So it literally is, if you're an Astro student and you actually can prove that you can bring value to us, and of course your trading is on par, we hire you. That's the way it works, and that's the way it's always worked. And so yeah, the vision for Astrofx is global fucking takeover, and it's happening.
Yeah, I'm going back to the vision and stuff. We don't really plan for 3-4 months. We plan for the next month or so. And due to our hard work and dedication and openness to risk and trying new things with the business, and the way we connect with people as well. We do have haters out there and stuff like that, but end of the day, we connect very, very, very well with our audience, and we have a lot of people who appreciate our work and appreciate what we do. And the vision has gone from a few of us, small Instagram accounts, to having many, many friends now around the world, whether they be students or maybe they're just some people who we've met at a free meetup that we do. So the vision is just going to continue to expand as the Astro gets into everybody's minds and we have more fun with everybody across the world.
I was going to say, we can pretty much land at any airport in the fucking world right now. And you know what, like Vietnam was an example. I think going back, I think it was 4 years ago when me and Sean went to New Jersey, the first person recognised us and thought, okay, cool, that's kind of cool. And then recently we can go to Miami, LA, South Africa, hundreds of people come meet us at hotels.
Vietnam, out of all places.
Someone actually came up to us at the airport. What's his name? Shout out, do you remember his name? Dan met us at the airport with a sign that says Sean and Nat, and actually paid for my taxi back to the hotel. And me and Sean took on a night out as well.
And that went really badly.
Yeah. So yeah, the vision is to keep growing Astrofx and obviously keep being motivation and inspiration for you guys, because that's one of our main goals, is why we started all of this. So hope we've done a good job. Hope you guys enjoyed the questions. Now before we go, of course, it's the usual time to run down some of our favorite currency pairs and give you guys our breakdown, and hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you for watching and sticking with Astrofx for the past 4 or 5 years now.
Comment below.
Episode 53, let's go. Hey guys, so just before I go through my analysis, I thought I'd share my setup. So my desk is quite messy, but this is where my office setup looks like. This is different to my setup back in my apartment, and of course different when I analyze my laptop. But I do actually enjoy coming in now and actually using all 4 of these screens. So obviously my favorite pairs are USD Cad and GBP USD, and I often actually have dollar index open as well. Now of course, Everything FX is where I post a lot of my analysis for free as well. Now with having this quad monitor setup, what you actually can do is, if you want to focus on one pair, you can actually have the different time frames open, for example, the daily, the 4 hour and the hour, and that actually helps you round up the confluences if you actually do want to get a better entry. So for me, I love to have this open, and of course many of you know I actually love the business part of what we do, Astrofx, everything FX and cryptonary as well, so I can actually have my charts open and analyze at the same time. So yeah, that's a bit of a quick intro. I'm glad you guys are back watching Technical Tuesdays. Now let me start off with GBP USD, then dollar index, and I'll finish with USD Cad before we pass to short. So let's start off with GBP USD, then I'll go into dollar index, followed by USD Cad. So weekly time frame. Now it's been a while since I did this, so I want to start off on a weekly time frame. So as you can see back here, this is going back to pretty much New Year's Day, where we had this massive spike through 1.25. Now if that spike had gone through, we would have ended up literally back in March, April 2017 lows, basically the damage of the Brexit. So that would have been terrible for the pound, and basically that would have been the worst of the worst. However, it closed as a hammer candlestick and allowed price to then pretty much start a powerful bullish trend that took over the whole of January. So if we look here, and this is a weekly time frame, we had pretty much 4 to 5 weeks of constant bullish movement. Now in the background of all of this, of course, we did have the US government shutdown. Now the shutdown actually started back at the end of December, so roughly around this time here. Possibly could be cause of the spike, but maybe not. Now after that, the pound actually did gain some traction against the US dollar, and we actually did start to, this is a daily time frame. If we go to a 4-hour time frame, you can see that in recent weeks we've actually been creating pretty nice higher highs, higher lows, breaking through higher high, higher low, then higher high again. And of course we actually peaked around about 1.3200. Now again, mentioning one more time about this US government shutdown. Now in total, this actually cost the US government $30 billion as staff and workers were not paid. And this is all because of Trump throwing his toys up the pram because of the Democrats refusing to fund that war that he will not shut up about. Now, this is the longest US government shutdown of all time. Now, even though this possibly might have caused weakness for the pound to actually increase in price, it has not done any damage that it can do yet. The only damage will actually be done, and large damage will be done, in the weakness in the dollar, only if we come to a state of emergency. And to reflect on that, you have to look at the yield. So don't worry about that. So in the last 2 weeks, we've actually broken to the downside. So this little upside trend line here, as you can see, we had a pretty nice breakthrough, retest. Now it also retested 1.31200, which I've actually got this daily level of the red line on right here. Now after, of course, it rejected from that, we see some of the wicks. Now, of course, there you see some of the rejections that it's trying to break higher, but it just cannot. And now it's pulled back down towards that all-important 1.30. That's right. Back towards 1.30 again. This has literally been the talking point of GBP USD for some time now. And you think because it's such a major level that price actually might consolidate or might not break through. But the price has actually broken down, and now we're currently trading at 1.29500. Now, is this possibly because of Theresa May's visit to Belfast already hurting the British pound? She's actually there for 2 days. So with the Brexit talks and everything underway, obviously they're trying to think of a backup plan. But in the midst of that, technically we've broken back below 1.300. And if the bad news still continues to come out of the Brexit whole topic of conversation, we could really see pound continue and push back down. Now, if we had 1.2.3 point, I can see the first point come down to 1.28500 around this region. But more or less the next support is not till 1.27500. So there's a few different scenarios which I'm thinking. One is a breakout retest, and then we're going to continue back down, or if we continue to consolidate, and I'm expecting further downside movement, but again with a bit of consolidation. And the only way that we're actually seeing any upside, I don't see upside coming just yet, is if we snap back above 1.3. So that's for me for the GBP USD. That's looking at a 4-hour time frame going from a weekly. So yeah, for that, that's kind of the Brexit, which has been kind of the forefront, and quite a lot of fundamentals chucked in there as well. So let's go to dollar index next. Now the dollar index is continuing to look strong as we try and break above 96. This is a daily time frame. But let me just quickly hop to a 4-hour time frame. So after a pretty up and down January, the dollar index is actually pulled back as the Federal Reserve decided to pause its rate hiking due to the Christmas stock sell-off. So you remember the stock market sell-off? In the past couple of weeks, the combination of the weakness in the EU and the dovish Fed meetings has definitely pulled the dollar index higher. As you can see, we're coming to that major level of 96 there. And we can see this is quite an important price there. The current bullish trend could definitely be connected to the non-farm payroll figures that actually came out, which actually shocked many people. The jobs created came out at 304,000, I think, crushing the estimate of 165,000. Now, this was actually the second time it's actually gone above 300,000 for the second month in a row. So it's actually pretty good news for the US. And that could definitely be one of the strong points which are actually pushing the dollar index, which of course then correlates to GBP USD and USD Cad, which I'm about to go through. So the next big kind of outcome for this, or next big news, is definitely the trade deal with China, which is actually going to come up a little bit later this month. But remember, the dollar index, the reason that I view it is actually looked at a bit of a safe haven for the US dollar. And to be fair, for America in general. So let's actually move to USD Cad now. So USD Cad, let me just get rid of that. So USD Cad, wow. Even with recent US dollar showing quite positive figures, the USD Cad has actually been pushing to a 3-month high. So right now, let's look. As you can see, 3-month high right there. Now, for this week, price action has actually been pretty quiet. So let me hop down to a bit of a lower time frame. And as you can see, the market did form lower low, lower high, and then even slightly smaller time frame, lower lows and lower highs as well. Now, this week's a bit slow because we hardly have any news coming out of Canada until tomorrow, that is. So let's try and give you a bit of a technical perspective. So I actually did an article, let me actually just go on to it, on Everything FX for USD Cad. So let me just try and pull that up if my internet works. Still loading. So let's actually go to today's technicals. So this is, again, some of the articles that I try and give. So here it is. So 6 days ago, quite a lot of views. Let me just open that up right there. So I actually did talk about the major 1.32 handles. Let me actually open this there. The major 1.32 handle. And I said that, of course, if this breaks, we could actually see close to 100 pip fall. So actually, let's go on to there. Now, with this, we had many attempts at that 1.3200 handle. The first one being around January 28th, which is just actually here. Then before that, we had 2 quite big attempts, roughly around the 10th of January. And then if I go way back here, we actually see from the start of November 2018, roughly around here, to the start of December 2018. Again, really showing how important this major barrier is. So I knew once we break, we're gonna be able to actually have quite a decent fall. Going back to this, I said 100 pip fall towards the 1.3100 region and beyond. And look where we actually kind of almost found a little bit of daily support is that 1.3100. So what's next for USD Cad? So of course, I've got this downside trend line drew on. Now there's a few different options which can happen because of the lower lows and lower highs. I could actually see a potential new lower high forming, and then potentially lower low could be going towards 1.3. If we do break to the upside, then that could actually cause some pullback for USD Cad, and only when it crosses above this level. But however, we would need to cross 1.32 once more, can we actually start to see the actual trend reversing. So for now, we're completely bearish on USD Cad. So that's my opinion on these 3 pairs, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to look at Everything FX to see my latest updates, just like I've shown you the targets coming through. And now I actually did make a members video for Everything FX as well. So if you're looking for more of the detailed entries, become a member of Everything FX. But anyway, enjoy Technical Tuesdays, and I'll pass it to Mr. Sean Lee.
All right, guys. Long time, new workspace. This is my corner. I enjoy being in the corner of the room. My screens are hidden, very, very private. Put my headphones in, I can crack on with some of the work that I'm doing at the moment. Many of you guys know who I've updated on Instagram. Give you some previews into some of the updated content that I'm working on. The ongoing live journal of my trading from the start of 2019 onwards. And this is where it all happens, more or less. If it doesn't happen here, it happens on this 27-inch Mac. At home, currently brought into the office because my workload is crazy right now. But yeah, so taking you through this, I have Good old Euro USD, top left corner, GBP JPY over here. I just put an article out on Everything FX website. GBP JPY pullback into heavy sell-off. I will share more of that insight with you guys in a moment. But I'll keep an eye on their website. I'll write the articles here. I'll do my analysis here, and I'll normally look at gold as well and GBP AUD. Work on other business models, and yeah, everything business, everything trading more or less happens here. So it's been quite a while. I have been keeping everybody quite in the mix though. Since the start of 2019, January was a crazy month in terms of trading. I shared most of that journey with everybody. I was doing Instagram lives every other day, sharing my articles as well. I had a pretty good win rate across the board on the articles, apart from Euro, which fucked me over twice. But I'll brush up on that, and I'll give my new insights on the Euro dollar going forward for the week ahead. But yeah, this office room is more or less complete now. It took probably the best part of January to move in, get all of the equipment cost an arm and a leg. Even setting it up, we had our setbacks there too, but everything is good, everything is in order. Currently, the 5th of February today, and I'm looking for a really, really good month in the markets. Other than that, that's about it, simple as. So let's crack in and on with some analysis. I'm gonna go over Euro dollar, GBP AUD, GBP JPY, and maybe even have a little look at gold as well to see where we are with that metal. So here we go. So guys, let's get onto the charts. It's been a while. So charts are very, very clean, very, very tidy over here. I'm going to start with the Euro dollar, explain what's been going on in the past few days, narrow a few things down, hopefully assist you in seeing things clearer on this currency pair and my other currency pairs I'm going to go through. All right, so trading, stressful, very, very stressful. Some of the questions about the discipline and about the routine and merging trading into your routine. It can be done, but it is a stressful mission. From my behalf anyway. Depending on how busy you are in life, and again what your goals are, trading can be very, very stressful. I've had a bit of a stressful day. I've been moving around quite a lot as well. But here we are. This is going to be my analysis for the week ahead. Let's see if we can point out any gems. So the Euro dollar at the moment, it is fluctuating around 1.4. Looking at 1.4 on the euro at the moment, low 1.1401. I see the pair pulling back above 1.1420 and fucking rocketing. I see this pair going into the highs. Target 1, 1.1473. Target 2, 1.1505. Target 3 can come in at 1.1560. Blue line representing stop placement. At the moment, we've driven ourselves right into this region. Again, I'm just going to keep it simple here. There's many, many more processes going through my brain right now, but I'm not going to share them. I'm going to just keep it very, very simple. Straightforward. Many people out there actually complicate the markets, to be honest. They complicate themselves, they complicate it and stuck in their own minds. It's a bit of a mess. So yeah, I'm just going to keep it short, sweet, simple. So euro dollar stops should be just below 1.1393. Great risk reward on this. Two targets there. 2 targets. Going into the hourly, spiked through but rested well right here. I see hourly can give us a little bit of a surprise, to be fair. We are still in intraday bearish territory though, if we simply place this trend line on just for guidance. We can break up and beyond blue line number 1, 1.1419. Trend line descending 1.14, around 20, 23. Retest continuation on a potential re-break and bull pull up. So yeah, there is great potential on this one, guys. So Euro could give us a little bit of a shock. So stay on point, stay warned. What have I just done on the Everything FX website? Today's technicals is posted a new article. 2,374 views. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. With this one, it was posted 2 hours ago, keeping it short, sweet, precise. Over here, I'll get to the chart in a moment. Actually, let me just pull up the chart from the get-go. Let's just keep it chart-based. You can go read that anyway. I just pulled that up for you to refer back to. So what I see is 1 high, 2 high, 3 high, all 1, 2 lower than the first, third lower than the second, 144.17, beautiful, nice wick there. Wick straight through 144. Combining, merging that with the daily time frame, we have huge daily spike. We have a lot going on around here as well, which is more or less a new shoulder or lower swing high point, which I've marked out on the 4-hour time frame. From then on, I stated on the article we have just made a new low by around 2 pips in this structure. We could be in for a surprise. Ideally, guys, my downside target projection is 140.75. From there below, we have 140, anywhere around here. But firstly, we can see GBP JPY pull back into this zone to make a new shoulder or lower swing point. So let's look for similar. Boom, could be a candlestick, could be a spike, could be a pinch of liquidity getting spun in there at this level. If you guys know how to actually spot that on the chart, I've more or less marked the level out for you. So let's see if we can pull back into that. That's still over 100 pips though. But what I'm trying to get at here is please be careful. You can get trapped here. The market can pull back first before coming down. So risk reward, we want to wait for the market to pull up a little bit, create a new lower swing over here, and then boom, down into 140.75. Simple as that, easy. Euro dollar, let's get rid of that for a moment. Where is my other chart? So I was looking at the Aussie as well, guys, to be honest. Aussie dollar, let's start with the daily on the Aussie dollar. We are moving up pretty well when it comes down to structure. Over here, breakout. We're retesting that zone there quite well. Do we have room and scope for 7,400? I believe we do. If we see boost, 1, 2, boost, 1, 2, 3, 4, boost, maybe 2, 4, boost, single, double, boost, 7, 4, maybe soon. Let's see. Looking at this though, this was easy. This was an easy spot that this was going to happen afterwards. The way these candles were forming, momentum loss, momentum loss, momentum loss. Equilibrium, momentum losing there as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Recognizing what's going on there on a smaller time frame. Then we had the dive bomb, short trapped straight into the wick regions over here where we're resistance. We could obviously call that supply as well, but I'm just keeping it quite simple. Boom, boom, opposite, boom, up and outward. Trapped sellers. Well, we're also above this base H4 support at 7219. What I would do in this situation, I would take that knowledge and I would bring it back into the hourly chart over here, which is clean as hell. And then look at structure right there, perhaps. I'm looking for another one of these. Can we melt? Yes, we can. However, I'm following daily suit. Weekly suit is okay. Closure. Last week, week before, 1, 2, 3 wicks, mainly 1 and 2. Range, fulfill, upside, 7, 4. Yep, I believe so. Taking that from the weekly into the daily, into the 4 hourly as fast as possible. Transcending all of that information into the hourly chart over here, I see Aussie dollar pulling up anywhere around here really. Look for upside on Aussie dollar. 166 pip move on Aussie dollar there as well. If we go into quite quickly, gold. Going into gold,
quick ones. Again, rested well. H4 support. Bit of a mess. We are trapped though. Look where the crosshair is. We are trapped. I favor gold to the downside. We have 1-2 spike on the 4 hourly. We broke structure before. We're sat on H4. However, hourly H1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 combo, cross combo, H4, H1, gold for me. We're coming down. We're coming down to 1300s again. We're coming back down to 1300s again. Simply put, keeping that in mind, hourly we need to more or less take out 1311, but once we've also taken out 1311, I see market pulling down, break, retest, look here from 1310 to 1300 for a 100 pip short sell-off. Easy as that. So guys, it's pretty straightforward, to be honest, pretty simple. Please go and check out GBPJPY and Everything FX. Please share it, please comment, and I hope you enjoy this Technical Tuesdays. And yeah, let's have a good week, guys. Have a good week. So Euro, hopefully we can see the pull up on Euro, GBPJPY to hit the deck, gold to maybe hit the deck as well, and Aussie Dollar to reach up to the ceiling.